Retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Hi, this is Jack O'Brien, and I could tell you stories. Brian Jameson is a fit, good-looking 75-year-old man who attributes his many years of life to good nutrition, and that's why he loves living in Florida, and especially this time of year. He loves to go picking fresh citrus. Last Saturday, he went back to Martin Orchards to pick a basket of oranges, and he ran into Debbie Martin. Debbie's maybe 35 years old. She walks around the family orchard helping the customers and answering questions, and she's just a beautiful young woman. Great personality, cute as she can be with her jet black hair, her overalls, and her plaid shirt. Brian thought to himself, this is one of the wonders of being 75. When you're 25, you see, you appreciate women your age, maybe as old as 45, but that's a 20-year spread. However, when you're 75, you appreciate women from 25 all the way to 85. That's a 60-year spread. And you appreciate older women for wonderful reasons that go way beyond the physical attraction that's so obvious when you're young. Brian couldn't help but think as he talked to Debbie that life was pretty good at 75. You could also tell from Debbie's reaction that she could see the old Brian in his eyes. Maybe she was looking into the future, wondering to herself if she'd someday be sharing life with a guy like Brian. He's still good looking, and the craggy face he has now is a perfect match for his long gray hair. He could be an actor, Billy Bob Thornton or Jeff Bridges. Anyway, Brian was just a few yards away from Debbie when he spotted an orange that was huge, fully ripe, and up in a well-picked over tree. It was about 8 feet or so off the ground and just about a foot beyond his reach. But he was still feeling a bit young, so he grabbed the branch that held the orange with one hand and tried to pull it down to bring the orange closer to him. Well, the darn thing wasn't moving. He shook the branch, thinking that since the orange was so ripe, it might fall right into his hands with just a little encouragement. He did manage to get it to wiggle a bit, but it stayed put. Well, this must be why it's still in the tree. It's just a stubborn one that resisted the efforts of many a visitor. But Brian wasn't going to give up. He was fit, he was hungry, and he was going to have this orange tomorrow for breakfast. And with that resolute fervor, he put both hands on the branch, and then one at a time he moved his hands further out on the limb. And he did it again and again until his feet were a good 18 inches off the ground. And that's when Debbie turned around and saw him hanging from the limb with his shirt tail flying in the breeze and his belt riding just moments above the legal limit. Well, that's when he met Drew Collins. Drew was a friend of the family, a very handsome young gentleman who Debbie had recently hired to help her out with the orchard. When she saw Brian hanging in the tree, she called Drew over to help. Drew put his big hands around Brian's rib cage and lowered him gently to the ground, and then he reached up, rose to the tip of his toes, and put his right hand around that orange the way Tom Brady holds a football. Came down with him without offering any resistance. The look in Debbie's eyes as she smiled at Drew said volumes. But hey, Brian got the orange. This is Jack O'Brien. Thanks for listening.
Like what you've just heard? I Could Tell You Stories with Jack O'Brien is brought to you by Brick City Digital. Hi, I'm Michael Warren, and at Brick City Digital Marketing, we believe every business has a great story to tell. Our job is to help your business tell your story in a way that brings more customers to your door. We help small businesses just like yours with web design, social media, SEO, video, and more. Visit us online at brickcity.com or call 352-351-1131 for a free consultation.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the show. You just heard the great storyteller, Jack O'Brien, give us another story. You know, all those are complete creations of Jack O'Brien. He does a good job. Speaking of a guy that did a good job holding down the fort last week, in admirable fill-in mode, Joe Martone joins us. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Tom.
Welcome
back to the neighborhood.
I appreciate you filling in for me last week.
My privilege. My privilege.
I don't know if it was a privilege. It was more of a pain in the.
Well, when you don't do it,
Yeah. So.
it was like, what button should I hit? What button did I hit wrong? Why did I do that? Yeah.
And you were told because I went to the hospital at 4 a.m. Sunday night, Monday morning.
Yeah. Well, Dan did that first interview at 8:35 on Monday because there was no way I would have got it because I didn't check my phone till 8 o'clock. You know, I went and then I ran in.
It was truly a family affair Monday.
Oh yes, it was. It was.
But I appreciate you filling in for me.
We're truly missed.
I appreciate you taking care of putting up with Galen. You know, whatever you do with Galen.
Well, that's all right. Don't worry. He'll say bad things about me too. So
whatever you do.
Right. It worked out very well. It worked out very well. It was a good week.
All's well that ends well.
Yeah, I know why you're being nice with me this morning.
Why?
I left your paycheck there this morning, didn't I?
Yeah. You actually had me set up good this morning. The Bob Wines commercials were in great shape.
Yeah.
You gave me some road closure for the Christmas parade I could use.
I gave you work.
You actually had me set up where I didn't.
I even had your jingle in there.
You did. I saw that.
I tell you what.
I saw that.
Oh, wait a minute. I was here Sunday, so I guess that's when I did it.
Well, probably. But it was a trying week for all of us.
You glad to be back?
It's much better than the hospital bed.
And the food will probably be better too.
Actually, the food wasn't that bad.
Really?
Small in size, but wasn't that bad actually. I mean, one day I had grilled salmon.
Really?
Yeah. One day
Now, what if you didn't like fish? They had a choice.
Yeah, it was grilled salmon or salad.
Whoa, I would have eaten salad.
Yeah.
Well, I might have tried. I'm at the age where I'll try because I don't eat fish.
Right.
If it has that tasty to it.
Nah, salmon's different though.
Yeah, well, they said that about lobster.
Yeah.
It was like chewing gum.
Well, I had London broil one day.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
The hospital food's improved.
Yeah, never reached Susan's heights, but
No. And now,
but I heard she.
Yeah.
If she didn't post it on Facebook, no one would have known that she broke the rules.
Yeah. Well, puts everything on Facebook.
And you got Facebook or YouTube working this morning?
YouTube, I'm out of YouTube jail.
And yeah, if you get on that again, I'm gonna kick you in your
bad
toe.
I won't say anything about the University of Florida and stuff that they're doing research on.
Nothing.
Because the University of Florida's research program is terrible, obviously.
Stop.
I won't refer to the University of Florida except for football.
Don't make me get up.
Except for football.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Well, I was worried about
that
Friday.
and COVID studies, but still.
I was worried about Friday. With Kevin Stone coming in,
yeah, I took care of that.
Well, I was going to try to get Galen, but he had a special meeting he couldn't call in, and I had some prep just in case.
I would have really rather have heard your prep.
No, you would not have. No, you would not have. What it would have been, Kevin, what do you think of? And then I would have just sat back and let him talk.
Well, there are.
And he could have done that very easily.
There are some ways he could have done that.
Oh, it'd be easy.
He could have covered it.
Oh, there'd be no problem. He's like a bowl full of fruit.
Did you hear the news though that transpired last week?
All right. I was thinking last night.
We used to have Philip Glassman in here quite a bit. He would come in and with his magazine, Ocala magazine.
Yes.
Well, they did a better than the best because the newspaper does best of the best.
Yeah, so it's a takeoff of
and
what
they do better than the best.
Okay,
2021.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Radio personalities, Lewis Stokes, the #1 radio personality in Ocala. He's with the country station. He's big time.
Okay.
Lewis, great guy. He does wedding DJ and all.
So
great
you know
guy.
him?
Oh yeah, I know him. Really, really, really good guy.
Stand
really
right there.
And he, by the way, he wins it every year.
Oh, does he? Well, that's good for him.
He's hard to beat. He wins it every year.
You came in #2 though.
I did.
Yeah.
I was very happy with our listeners that made WOCA the second most listened to radio personality in
So you know what that means though, that you're #2. You got to try harder.
Well, it's up to the listeners to vote.
That's true.
But they voted.
That's cool.
They voted WOCA as the #2 listened radio.
Were they all alive that voted?
I don't know if there were Democrats that voted or not. See what I did there?
Yes, I see what you did. I heard what you did there too. Yeah.
But to be in the company of people like Lewis Stokes and Hunter and Parker, who are on the classic rock and roll station.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To have a talk radio show that is recognized along with the much larger music radio.
Thank you, music radio. It's a different genre.
It is.
And it's a different audience. And that's what I try to get across to everybody when they talk to me about this radio station, about their radios. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with music. The only thing different between them and us is they don't like a song, beep, they hit the button.
Yes.
90% of the time.
Yeah, if you don't like what they're playing, people check out. Go to another station so they can find the song they like.
Yeah, yeah. With us, they're wondering what the heck you're going to say next. Or who you're going to bring on.
Okay, let's be honest. You and Dan
don't know what you're going to say next.
Don't know what I'm going to say next.
This is true. That's why I got what little hair I have, yes.
Which is amazing why, after 10 years of this, 9.5, 10 years of this, you still don't have a delay button for me.
No. Shotgun maybe, but no delay button.
Every radio station has a delay button except this one. And the guy who needs a delay button the most doesn't have one.
Well, the problem is you're the only one that could reach it. So
that is a good point.
Yeah,
because I'm the producer, the board operator. You're right. So
that's it. Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none.
None.
Master of none. We lost the senator overnight.
Bob Dole, 98 years young.
Yeah.
And, you know, he got his arm mangled in World War II.
Yeah, all the shrapnel.
Where he couldn't use his right arm anymore.
Yeah,
and by the way, was right-handed.
It was.
That's what people didn't know. He's right-handed. Taught himself to write left-handed.
Well, yeah, when you have no choice.
Right, exactly. But he would always, and it's just funny to me, and I listened to some interviews. I went back and watched some interviews with him and everything. It's funny to me how non-perceptive the human being is. And I'll give you a case in point.
I knew you would.
Bob Dole said, I have my arm here. It's just hanging. It doesn't move. People still want to reach out and shake my right hand to the point where I had to literally put stuffed pins or something in it. So when they did, I go, oh, no, that hand's full. And it would extend my left hand.
Right.
Even though the hand wouldn't move, you could tell it was an immobile object.
I don't know. Was he able to squeeze with the hand or not?
No.
It was just there.
It was there. Just there. People
pumping blood and everything, still alive, but
people would still reach out and try to shake it.
Yeah.
Because their perception is, he's got a right hand, might as well shake it.
Yeah.
He would have to put.
I remember the pen.
He would have stuff in his hand, so when people went to shake it, he'd go, I can't, it's full, and reach out with his left hand.
Yeah, I know. I remember that, and he went for presidency 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Last time he got embarrassed by Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Slick Willie embarrassed a lot of people, though. So, and when I say embarrassed, I mean in the vote totals. Not. He was a true statesman from Kansas.
Yeah, yeah.
His wife Elizabeth was a senator from North Carolina.
Today would have been their 45th or 46th anniversary.
She was a senator from North Carolina, represented North Carolina well. Yeah. So, the Dole family, very, very involved with politics on the national level for a very long time. He's going to miss him. Hey, something else I want to talk about that happened yesterday.
Yesterday was Sunday.
That a lot of people won't know this person, but the what happened is close to me, but why it happened and that people need to pay attention is for anybody. Mm-hmm. And I had a very good friend of mine yesterday. I won't give his full name, but I will just say his motorcycle club name is Jarhead. He went down yesterday on I-75.
Oh.
He is now in the hospital with some serious injuries. He is stable.
Oh, he's alive.
He is alive, is stable. But all of it happened because cars on the interstate cut a group of motorcyclists off. By the way, those cars were being cut off. I've talked to some people that were there and witnessed it. But once again, just lack of knowing your surroundings, and motorcyclists suffer the consequences. And you deal with it even on your trike.
Yeah.
You know that people don't see you.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Joe Martone, all 6'5".
About that, 6'4",
6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, somewhere in there.
All 6'4", 6'5", on this big trike, usually pulling a trailer behind it that looks like a treasure box.
Yeah, treasure chest, yeah.
If you look at it, you take a double take, and yet people would say if they got in an accident, oh, I didn't even see him.
Yeah.
And it's something that is a problem. And I knew it was a problem, but it really, really sinks home with you when it's somebody you know that's close to you that is doing nothing except out with his buddies on a ride. Oh, yeah. And now he's in the hospital.
Yeah, I've witnessed
in
a
serious
few of those.
but stable condition.
It's usually someone taking a left-hand turn in front of a bike. And unfortunately, I've seen someone, I won't describe it on the air, it's too graphic, but I've seen someone get hurt very, very bad. And I'll just say his passenger was crawling to him, okay? And that was, again, I won't get into detail on that. And then there was another group. I mean, we're talking a group, 700 bikes going on one of these big toy runs down a major highway up in the mountains. And all the entrances were blocked off.
By the police so that they could get this run through.
Well, this one lady decided she went around the barricade and came onto the highway and knocked the biker off. And, of course, the rest of the bikes swarmed around her like bees. And there was police escorts and everything around us, so they just, that I don't know what happened to her, but when we got to our destination, word got to us quick. The motorcyclist didn't have to go to the hospital. He slowed down, and when she tapped him, she jumped off, and then he fell, and then the bike went, and she wobbled to him apparently, but not enough to no right. Hospitalization. That I heard. I don't know. But, that lady, I wouldn't count how many charges she's going to get.
Yeah, prayers go out to my buddy and his wife.
I don't know who he is, but he's a jarhead, Marine, which means Marine, and he's a fellow military. Wish you well.
Yeah, so, look, folks, we're not saying anything spectacular here. Here's what we're saying. Pay attention.
Yes.
Look around you. There are mirrors on your car, on the sides of your cars and vehicles. There's a rear view mirror. All of those are to assist you in seeing your surroundings.
And that's behind you. When you're driving, look in front of you.
Look in front of you, too.
Most bikes are not behind. The ones that are behind you, you shouldn't have a worry about unless you're going from one lane to another.
Well, that's what happened. Is that all these cars cut them off, is my understanding. And the cars that cut them off to cause the accident were being cut off by other vehicles. It happened in between Wildwood and Bellevue on I-75 yesterday afternoon.
Wildwood and oh my goodness, going this way, south or north?
North, coming north.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, I've been through there. That's a wild section too.
Yeah. So just pay attention, folks. Motorcycles are on the road as well, and now they're on the road a lot because of the weather. Lot. Yeah, because the weather this week, the high is going to be 80 all week. Yeah, that's perfect motorcycle weather.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Perfect motorcycle weather.
Beautiful.
Luckily, he had on all his leather and everything, so he does have road rash, but not as bad as it could be.
Yeah, I always wear gloves.
Right.
Whether they have the fingers in them, or sometimes the weather, depending. But I have gloves, save the knuckles and everything.
But it's going to be
and a helmet. Oh, got to have a helmet.
Still going to be a ways back. And I'll talk to you off the air. I won't give you everything.
Yeah.
Still going to be a ways back to get him back up and running. But I only bring this up to tell people, pay attention.
That's it. Well, watch motorcycles.
And I can't.
It's just not a sticker on a car.
No, I've always said it. And I have good friends. Joe rides a trike. I have very good friends of mine that all ride motorcycles. One of my best friends, Jimmy Bohannon, is a big motorcyclist.
Yeah.
I mean, not just a big enthusiast, but just
man.
A big dude on a motorcycle.
Yeah. I felt bad for you. I was standing on one side, he was standing on the other, and you were in the middle.
Yeah. Whenever I can be made to look small, you're standing amongst men that are rather large.
Yeah, I felt right at home. I tell you, I felt right. There was a lot of big men.
A lot of big dudes. But that's the thing. Whenever I'm standing in a group of people where I'm small,
you feel safe.
Well, I'm not worried about that.
Well,
but it does make you tend to. Whenever I have to look up at somebody, or when Jimmy Bohannon takes his hand and my bald fist, which is huge, and he covers it with his hand and laughs at me.
Exactly.
Laughs at me, and goes, "Look at there, little man." And covers my whole hand.
It is. It is. When I went on that poker run and that benefit
for Toys for Tots.
There was a bunch of stops on the way.
Yeah.
And they had some adult beverages on the way. And I don't.
Joe drank water.
Yeah, I bring my own water. I don't drink. And it was the second to the last stop, And somebody shouted, "Hey, Joe!" And I turned. He says, "You having fun? You watching?" And I said, "Just watching. Just watching everybody else have the fun."
People watching sometimes can be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But that's what we're talking about, folks. People watch when they're on motorcycles.
What
watch
a segue.
them.
What a
watch
segue.
them so you don't run them off the road and people get injured, needlessly.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's what happens. A lot of times, motorcycle accidents could be avoided if you just paid attention. We lost a very good friend of ours, a veteran, Don, years ago from people that didn't pay attention.
I remember that.
Right there on 441 North.
That was horrendous.
It was terrible.
And again, I can't give you details.
And
on
Don
the
was one of the best guys you'd ever.
He's one of the good guys.
Look, you always wanted Don to be around, Don and Gary to be around, because they could sometimes rein Hank in.
Sometimes. And that's a lot of work.
Well, look.
Hey, I'm looking at the tarmac.
Nothing.
What happened? Everybody's out, huh?
Clear blue sky.
Yeah, they're all out. All right. The weekend of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We had, I think, 7 jets parked out here that came into town.
You think that it's good motorcycle weather? It's clear blue skies, good flying weather too.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Better than a cloudy sky.
I don't know. These jets, they go above the clouds.
No, I'm talking about the little puddle jumper Cessna.
Oh, yeah.
Bumpity, bump, bumpity, bump, bump. Look at Frosty go.
Look at this Cessna roll. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Those things that I don't want to go in because they beat you around worse than a football game.
Let's see. In Connecticut, I used to go to New York from Connecticut, and Pilgrim Airlines. I don't even know if they're in existence anymore. But there was the 2 pilots and 12-seater. Yeah, I think about a 12-seater, maybe a little more. Prop.
Right.
And, 2, that's it, just 2, one on each side. And the pilot and the co-pilot. And what separated them from the passengers was a curtain.
Yeah. Curtain. Just like that show, what was the show? Wings. Where they did the puddle jump from the island up in Massachusetts. What's it? Nantucket.
Nantucket, yeah. All I know is many a trip we took off straight and we took off on an angle or landed on an angle. I mean, the runway straight and your wings are like this. They're going, we got you. Going, mama. And it was only a 25-minute trip from New Haven to New York, LaGuardia there.
White-knuckled the whole time.
Well, there was some time I come up and I became Irish. Boy, was I green. Oh, my gosh, was I green. But there's the old joke, about when you fly in, what airlines you have, and you go by the time. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? He says, well, United, it's 0900. And American Airlines, it's, 0900, American Airlines. United was American, and then American Airlines was 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pilgrim Airlines with the little hands on 12 and the big hands on 9. So the other way around, yeah.
The Christmas parade is this weekend.
You going?
Saturday. It all depends on my wife and my
heart.
What?
Yeah, that's true. I noticed?
Well,
the Nellen parade's already happened.
Right, happened this weekend.
Right. And I know I've been the judge for a couple of years.
Right.
So they're over there taking short sleeves, shorts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going, there's some years I've been over there bundled up.
Oh, yeah. So the reason I bring up the Christmas parade.
Tell me.
Either Wednesday or Thursday. We hadn't solidified the time yet. We got to look. We got to talk to our traffic person here at the radio station all to see what times are available.
And?
I will have the chair of the Christmas parade committee. Sue Mosley will be on the radio talking about the Christmas parade.
She's a cool lady.
Getting the final things.
Cool
but
lady.
By the way, if you're going to put your chairs out, don't do it before Wednesday.
That's right.
If you do it today or tomorrow,
they'll go into
gonzo.
It'll be into the chair purgatory.
Exactly. They're taking them away if you put them out today or tomorrow.
Their names on the chairs.
I don't know. I've never put chairs out. I've just stood, so I've never, And I've only been once. And this year, we're not going to go this year, but the Hawthorne Christmas Parade was canceled.
Oh, was it?
So, again, for COVID, it's in Alachua County. So.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. Liberal.
We'll
be back.
Huh?
After this time out, you're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA. The Source.
Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Early data from the new Omicron variant of COVID-19 does not indicate a great degree of danger.
There is an expectation that 30% of the non-vaxxers and there are no